Hi guys, it's Jo here from Itz The J Life, and in today's video we're going to be discussing booking holidays, and in particular that family trip that we all dream of to Orlando. So if that interests you and you're interested in saving a couple of pounds and some great tips, then stay tuned till just after this short little intro and I will be right back. Thanks so much for staying around, guys. So we're going to be discussing booking our family trip to Orlando, which, as you know, was cancelled. If you've been following our family's channel for a while, we were supposed to be going on the 9th of May for 12 nights to Orlando this year, direct from Manchester with Virgin. However, of course, the trip was cancelled due to COVID. So this was basically the trip that we were going, but obviously this year, not next year. And this was the hotel, very, very budget hotel. But as you can see, the price is literally £1,000 more than what we were paying. So that's crazy. So when Virgin offered us the voucher back for the cost of the holiday, I went straight on to rebook for next May. However, this is based on 2 adults and 1 child, and obviously doesn't include any park tickets or anything. It's just your flights and your hotel. I was shocked to see that the price was double what we had paid. Well, nearly double what we had paid, £1,000 more. So my heart sank a little bit because obviously I've got a 10-year-old, as we all know, Jasmine, and I have been promising her for the past year that she's going to Orlando. But I now can't afford to take her to Orlando at them prices. So as you know, you've got your park tickets on top. They're approximately £1,500 for the 2 weeks. So it gets costly, and then you've got your spending money on top of that. So you're easily looking, even with a budget hotel like this, of spending in excess of £4,000 to £5,000 for the holiday. So, you know, that's small fry to some people, but it's not to my family. So previous to this, we've always kind of gone on all-inclusive holidays, because I think you can just pay for your holiday and then know that everything is pretty much paid for and you don't have to worry about any spending money. But with a trip like this, you know, if you're going to go to Orlando, some people go every year, some people are blessed to be able to do that. But most people, it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and or they plan it to be so, maybe get the bug and find some way of getting there every year. But most people, it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and you don't want to be scrimping and saving when you get there. So you want to be able to go in a shop, buy the merch, eat at the restaurants that you want to eat at, and have a great holiday. Or that's certainly what my family want to do. So we started off by looking at Skyscanner. So I knew that Virgin was out the question with the Manchester flight. So I started looking at other airports that fly to Orlando, and it's basically Heathrow was the next option. So Heathrow, I live in the north of England, so Heathrow is a hell of a drive. And after a 9.5-hour flight, I'm not sure whether or not you're going to want to be driving home. So, but they do have a lot of connections. So they have connections from Teesside and Newcastle. So it's a great airport for us to think about travelling if we can get cheap flights down there from Newcastle or Teesside. So I went to Skyscanner, where I would always start and just put in the flights only, the direct flights, and have a look at what dates come up. So here you can clearly see the 11th and the 16th are the cheaper dates, and they are in the green to say that they're cheaper. So you'll see green, red and amber basically on Skyscanner. So as you can see, these will be my kind of go-to dates when I'm searching. So I then will go to BA's website, the holiday website, where you can do flight and hotel, and I will put my details in. So I'm wanting to go I know, because I work in aviation industry anyway, so I know that if I book my flights with BA directly, when I book the flights to Orlando as a package, I will get 23 kilos luggage allowance on the small flight from Newcastle to Heathrow. If I was to book that separately, I wouldn't get it as part of the package, and I might have to pay a little bit extra. So it's best to book it together as a package. So as you can see, Newcastle to Orlando, return on the 11th of May. Departing on the 11th of May, return on the 25th. That's 14 nights, so that's 2 nights more than what we were going for, that was supposed to be going for this year. Now, the other thing I like about BA is you can actually pop multiple hotels in here. Now, that is something that we did consider doing, and I'll get into that in a little bit and explain why. But that's a great tip as well if you're going to different locations. So we had been looking at maybe doing an LA trip and doing Disney Anaheim and then doing LA. So we would have had a hotel for a couple of nights in LA and then a hotel for a bit longer in Anaheim around Disney. So again, that's a great way that you can do a multiple trip on here, which you can't do with Virgin and then because they're more of a package holiday. So we've got two adults, 1 child, and Jasmine will be 10 next year, so we've put in her age that she will be when she returns from the holiday. And we're just going to wait for that to do its thing and have a look at what the prices are like. So I can tell you we have booked this holiday and we have upgraded the hotel, and we are now staying for 14 nights instead of 12. And I think we have paid $2,300. So we were paying $1,800 and now we're paying $2,300, but we've got 2 extra nights and a much, much nicer hotel. So, you know, we just decided, because we haven't had a holiday for the last 2 years, that we would splurge a little bit and do it a little bit nicer than how we had originally planned. That was all. So it's going to bring up all of the accommodation, and where I always start is at the lowest end. See what I can afford, basically. Everybody will search this differently, but most normal folk like us have a budget and need, you know, the cheapest options, really. Some people are blessed enough to be able to afford the luxuries in life and go to the higher end, but that is not us. So I've already been on TripAdvisor and I've already looked into a lot of hotels. So I already know the areas I want to be. I already know the hotels that I don't want to stay at. These Avanti Palms resorts look great, however they have got a resort fee, so you really need to keep an eye out for that, because you can be stung sometimes $25 per day resort fee on top of the hotel price, so do bear that in mind. Another thing that I hadn't realised, which I have now, is that BA charge you to pre-book your seats. So the planes are brand new. I think they are A350, an Airbus A350. So they're brand new aircraft, and they are 3, 3 and 3. Apart from the odd kind of seat in rows that are slightly different. I also, because I'm a bit of a geek, also already know that I think row 35, the 3 seats next to the windows, not the 3 in the middle, don't recline back, because like I say, I go into so much detail when I'm booking holidays. I even know that. Now, this hotel, the Coco Key Hotel and Water Park, has a water park. Again, that has got a resort fee, so I will be staying away from there. Kissimmee isn't an area that I want to stay at. I looked in great detail about this particular hotel. However, there's basically 2 blocks. One block gets amazing reviews, but you have to upgrade to this club level access to get it. The other block gets not very good reviews at all. So I can already see that these prices have actually gone up since I booked the hotel. Again, that has got a resort fee. The Enclave Suites, I although it says room only here, everywhere else that I've looked does say that it gets a continental breakfast. And I think if you book with Virgin, you get a hot breakfast, but don't quote me on that, it might have changed. Again, they all have balconies as well, even if it's just a small one, which a lot of the hotels in Florida remarkably don't have, which is going to be really awkward if you're getting soaking wet on water rides and going swimming into aqua parks and things. So I was quite surprised just how many hotels don't have one. Barely any of them have balconies. This one does. So if that's important to you, that's about one of the only hotels that I found with a balcony, to be honest. So as I can see, I can already see that our hotel is a lot more expensive. Our holiday that I've booked already is a lot more expensive. So it just goes to show how important it is when you find that deal. This is another hotel. It's on International Drive. Look, really nice actually. But again, it's got quite a large resort fee. So, you know, that's going to add on to the price of the hotel. So, like I say, this is the hotel that we've booked, the Rosen Plaza Hotel. And we were considering the Universal Surfside and Dockside hotels. I will go into a bit more detail why and how we came to this decision. But one thing I will say is with BA, that's where the multiple hotels comes. You know, when we were doing the search before and it said multiple hotels, because we did actually price up the Rosen Plaza for 7 nights and Universal for 7 nights. When we were looking for a different date, the 3rd of May, it did actually come out the same price. So we did consider that, but then unfortunately we ummed and ahed that much. The price went up and we missed the date. So then I spent the next week, fingers crossed, praying, checking Skyscanner every 5 minutes, and managed to get the 11th of May, which was actually better for us because it's a bit later on in May, which is what we wanted anyway. So anyhow, the reason why we've decided on the Rosen Plaza instead of Universal, I did what I always do and I jumped into the map. I obviously as well watched loads and loads of YouTube videos and went on to TripAdvisor. Now, I do find watching people's YouTube videos to be an absolute godsend when it comes to planning hotels and stays like this, because we've never been, we have no idea where we want to be, and I don't want to be at the wrong end for restaurants and things like that on a night. Like I've mentioned before, we are quite night owls and we want to make sure that we're in the right place, and we don't want the whole trip to just be about Universal. Now, the Universal hotels do include early park entry. However, like I've just said, we're night owls, and with every great intention, we would set our alarm and probably snooze it and never get up for the early park entry. So, and plus, to be honest, when I have actually watched other people's YouTube videos, the early park entry doesn't sometimes benefit them because everybody's going to it, and it's not just the hotels. You've got Universal annual pass holders get it. There's an awful lot of people, and it can get really, really packed. So sometimes, in my personal opinion from the videos that I've watched, having never been, I do think it might be better to sometimes go a bit later on in the day. So that is what we're going to do anyway. So this is the hotel that we have booked here, and this is Point Orlando. So all of this is shopping, bars, cafes, restaurants. I really fancy the look of the Olive Garden, Bahama Breeze. There's a Greek restaurant in Point Orlando that I really like the look of. And I fancy this cafe Tutu Tango as well. So we're right amongst all of the lovely kind of bars, shops, cafes from what I can see, having never been before. My plan is to get the green little iTrolley or do lifts, which are a little bit like Ubers, whichever is cheapest. I think you just download the app when you're in Orlando and it'll literally tell you how much a trip will be before you've even booked it. So if you go all the way up here, this is where Universal is. So like I say, up here, you're right kind of out on a limb, right near Universal, Islands of Adventure and City Walk. So it's great if you're just doing Universal, Islands of Adventure and City Walk. However, you know, I kind of want to sample all of International Drive, and I think if we were up there, we'd be in our own little bubble and we'd never actually sample the other end, other than to go to SeaWorld, Aquatica and Discovery Cove, which is down the bottom end, so basically polar opposite ends of International Drive from what I can see. So this is where Universal Volcano Bay's water park is, so that's there. So I just think that way we will get to sample more by staying at the plaza. And if we come right the way down to the bottom here, you'll be able to see where, so basically this area down here is SeaWorld, somewhere around here is SeaWorld, Aquatica and Discovery Cove somewhere down there as well. So yeah, that's basically why we've ended up booking this hotel here, wherever it is here. So it's right near Point Orlando, right near lots of nice shops, bars, cafes, etc, etc. So that leads me on to tickets. So we booked through attractiontickets.com and they were absolutely awesome in refunding us the money. So I just emailed them. I never even had to call anyone. And a lady got back to me after a couple of days and then she was very, very quick at responding to any of the questions that I had. Got a full refund off them. So that's great. So fortunate because we did have a really great deal. For the three of us, so me, Steve and Jasmine, we were paying $1,180 there or thereabouts for Universal, Islands of Adventure, Volcano Bay. Then we had, they were for 7 days because we were going for 12 days. They were 7-day tickets that you could use at any time. Then we had Aquatica, Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Discovery Cove and the dolphin swim on this ultimate package. Now, this is a really, really great tip. If you're going and you book this Discovery Cove ultimate package with or without the dolphin swim, you get 14 days consecutive unlimited admission to SeaWorld, Busch Gardens and Aquatica. So it's well worth booking this Discovery Cove unlimited package to get the access to all of those other theme parks for only £156. So that is a really, really awesome deal. That's without the dolphin swim. It's about 200 and odd with the dolphin swim. But my next tip is going to be to wait until Black Friday in November and have a look then at rebooking these tickets, because that's what I did last year and I managed to get myself a really great deal. So I'm definitely going to be doing that again for this next year's tickets. So that is my tip for that. So then it leads me on, last but not least, to, I obviously want to vlog and video our holiday over there. But I don't want to be taking a laptop with me. And I don't want to be having to buy and fork out for hundreds of SD cards in order to hold my footage onto different SD cards. So I was watching a family's channel called The Despicable 3, who I absolutely love their videos. So I've watched them, I think I've watched every single video of theirs, Family of 3. And they show the food places, the prices of everything. They remind me very much of our family as well, although they're 2 adults and a boy, when we're 2 adults and a girl. But they, yeah, apart from Jimmy is much, much, much better behaved than Jasmine is. But yeah, they're just a really nice family, just dead easy to watch, and I find them really, really helpful. So do go and check. They don't need any help from me. They've got thousands of subscribers already. But do go and check them out if you are planning an Orlando trip, because their videos are so helpful. I think they've had at least, I think they've been going to Orlando for years, but they have at least 3 to 4 sets of different holidays on there. But they recommended this, which is a RAV power bank. I'm a techie person and I've never heard of one of these. So when she was trying to explain it, I was like, what is that? How do I even Google one of those? Because when I looked at the bottom, I couldn't find a link to the device that she was on about. So I think these are about £50 to buy. However, I just happened to go on Facebook Marketplace and just put it in, and this lady was selling it for £4 plus something delivery. So I paid £8 for this, and I have tried it and it does work. So it's got a slot for the SD card, and it's got a USB slot here. And basically what you do is you download an app on your phone, link it to this, so link your phone to this via Wi-Fi, put your SD card on here, and it reads the data that's on your SD card and allows you to transfer it onto a portable hard drive. I haven't actually got my portable hard drive with me, but I have a Seagate 1 terabyte portable hard drive. So I will just take, when I'm on holiday, literally this is like basically your laptop in a way. So this helps transfer your data off your SIM card onto an external hard drive, clearing up your SIM card to reuse the next day for filming. So what a great idea. Like, I'm so over the moon with this, and I'm so happy that they gave me this tip, because yeah, the RAV power, this is the RPWD01. So that's it there, you can see. Yeah, so over the moon with that. Thank you very much, Despicable 3 family, for this great tip. So guys, that concludes my video. Now, one last little thing that I do want to just little touch on is why we've decided to do Universal, Islands of Adventure and all that jazz instead of Disney. So of course you can buy the Freedom ticket, which allows you to do everything, and I know people who have done that. However, from watching other people's videos, I think you're going to have a much more enjoyable holiday, less kind of stressed out and everything, if you choose to do one or the other. So I think with Disney, if we were to ever go back and we would do Disney, we would stay on a Disney resort or down in Lake Buena Vista, which I think is more kind of located where Disney is. So we would definitely look into that, and maybe getting the Disney dining packages and that kind of thing. It's what kind of puts me off you've got to book fast passes in advance, and you've got to book Disney dining packages in advance, and pre-book everything, and kind of very regimented holiday from what I can gather. Whereas this is more kind of, we wake up and we think, oh, we'll go to Universal today, or we'll go to an aqua park today. I think the only thing we're going to have to really, really book, although I will have a kind of schedule and kind of spreadsheet. I will have, like, because people have said you do need to do that. But yeah, I think I will have like a little bit of a spreadsheet, kind of like with ideas of where I want to eat that day or that kind of thing. So we can maybe look at booking it, but we're certainly not going to be totally regimented. And the only thing we're going to have to properly book is the Discovery Cove day, because that needs to be booked in advance. So yeah, and at the time of booking your tickets, basically you have to select a day. So, but in May, generally, I think the weather's nice. So that concludes the video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have, give it a big thumbs up. Do consider subscribing. If you aren't already subscribed, it's that big red button down at the bottom. And we will see you in our next video. Bye for now. Bye.